we're heading up to one of our new permissions, and we just wanted to show you this big old brook. You can see the rocks, and it is completely dry on the side. Then you can look up, you can see the big hill that we got to hike. It's about straight up, and it's about 20 minutes or more of fast walking. We'll catch you at the top.
Catch ya.
The waterworks on GT Road are frozen up between Gorham and West Paris. At Gorham, the frost was found to be 6 feet in depth, and at Bethel 4 feet. Probably so many cellars were never frozen so badly in Oxford County as now, nor ever so many wells dry as at present. A great many wells have not afforded a drop of water since midsummer of last year, and that's the way it was back in the day, February 15, 1871.
Well, here we are, back again, taking a little rest after the first uphill, and here's the next one we gotta travel up. Feels pretty much like you're standing on your nose as you walk up the hill. It's pretty rough and pretty rolly. You have to be pretty careful so we don't fall down and get hurt. Catch you on the top. We're continuing the walk through up to the cellar hole, and this is kind of off to the side of the road. It's a pretty good sized knoll, and this all appears to be field at one time, and it's pretty much grown up into great big old pines. Looks like it would have been beautiful farm fields when these early settlers lived up here. And as you can see, the road is pretty nice and open. I think now it's a snowmobile trail, but it's good walking from here on, pretty flat. And we'll walk over to the cellar hole. Okay, this is the continuing road following in, getting pretty close to the cellar hole. Big old apple trees. Cup of coffee. Yum.
And this would have been occupied probably 30s, 50s, and to the later. Would have been an early homestead, like the ones that we hunt early 1800s.
Yep, this one does appear on the 1858 map as being occupied.
There was an Andrews.
Andrews.
And then the 1880 map was
a Rawson.
And then later people have told us it was a Heckaden.
It's a pretty big cellar hole. A few old split stones. Well, we got marked.
Carry some of this wagon, and if you find a well, you can mark it off so that people don't step into it. And this one here is a deep well. You imagine them having to dig and all them rocks. What do you say? You figured it was 15, 16 feet?
Yeah.
Right around there.
Yeah.
And it's dry. We're having a severe drought here in Maine, and everything, all the natural brooks and stuff are dry. Okay, so we just left the well. We're finished our walkthrough that we tried to finish before, but we had camera issues. We think we have early Andrews place.
Interesting on it. There's just so many stone walls that seem to indicate there's an opening here. And here you got a round cellar hole. This isn't really a large one, but.
And then it kind of goes that way, the wall, and we're finding stuff up in here. And then the funny thing about this one over here, you can't get into this next one over here. You got to go all the way back up around, which is weird. Not very convenient.
And this one over here also, it looks like it might have been their apple orchard. There are 2 or 3 great big old apple trees in here.
Two pieces of metal that we found, just stuff sitting around, bricks. Down here, there's stuff underneath the stone wall, kind of. Pieces of brick and glass. You can see some of the pretty bottles that were nice ones that would have been If they weren't broken, they would have been nice. Nice, pretty stuff. A picture of a piece of the pitcher. Just tobacco tins. This kind of look like a part of a coal shovel.
This is a pretty interesting little area over here. I don't know what it might have been, but it was just like it was, I don't know, it was all rocked in. And there doesn't really appear to be an entrance in and out of it.
And over on this side is what they called the sheep pastures. You find that your barbed wire was invented around 1873. So if you find barbed wire, you're gonna have later activity than that. And there's some barbed wire here as well. You have a little can here, more rough, a ring, barrel or something. And in here we found a lot of pieces from a wagon. And this is the last area on this side. Like I said, you have to go all the way up around to get into this back area. And that goes way over there.
What's left of the main cellar hole, the house cellar hole.
And somebody had used it later, probably after the Depression era.
In the 40s, perhaps.
Yeah, after Depression era, a lot of people would use these old cellar holes and put up a building, repurpose.
You can see some of the flat stones in there that were the cut granite stones disappeared.
Yeah, the brick would have been reused.
You see the plaster all over them.
What's left of the little wood area, it almost looks like they only had, kind of looked like it's only on part of it. You can't tell for sure.
Lean to a shelter.
All right, so we took you over to this side where the well was, where all of these different paddock areas are. Now we're going to go over here for the family cemetery.
Right here are the remnants of the cemetery, and this looks like where they might have gone in. And actually these big long pieces here are angled on the end, so they look like they might have stood up, kind of like a gateway. And even under.
It's a good size, and there are no records as to who might be buried in here. A lot of times in the old days they would just have rocks, and down on this corner there is 2 rocks. They would put a red rock for the headstone as well as a footstone.
Fieldstone markers. Some remedy.
Yeah. We have a rock right here. Possibly could be a marker. That's all, they'd have. Unless you can find records. Like a lot of these very early ones that got lost.
Haven't found any records. We do know that some of these settlers that were at this cellar hole are buried elsewhere.
Yeah.
The older people. I don't know if this might have
We
had
did
children.
find on one of the Andrews that one of the daughters did die.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't find her elsewhere, so it possibly could be her.
Possibly in this cemetery.
Really no way to know for sure.
No. You can see it's pretty grown up. The trees are pretty large in here, so it's been neglected and gone back to nature for quite some time.
This will be part of a stove. Farmer's Cook, number 8, 1893.
Okay, I was just kind of getting a mid-tone here. And pulled out this old enamelware. Looks like a coffee pot. Kind of the blue enamelware. Kind of worse for wear, but interesting nevertheless. Let's see if there's anything else in the hole. Seems to be a lot of garbagey noises here. Yeah, there's something else down in here. Oh my gosh! Look!
Wow.
Look! It's a little toy cap gun.
Heidi! She's found a cap gun.
Oh my gosh! It's got some writing on it. Wow, I think it might be, there's a brand called National, and maybe that's what it is. I see a ONAL on the end of it. Well, isn't that cool? I never. Wow. Get it cleaned up, maybe we can read this side of it. That is whole. This side's got a break on it. Some little boy lost his favorite toy. Oh dear.
Found this brand new ox shoe, and it does have some writing here, but the date is 1887. It looks brand new, like it's never been used. That is cool.
No, I've never seen that style.
No. Yeah, it is different.
It is totally different, because usually they just didn't look like that.
No.
They were flat in the middle. They didn't have that ridge down the
No.
middle of them.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, if you get a manufacturer off it.
Yeah.